Hi everybody. I feel weird being in portrait, but for some reason I can't go live horizontally. So here we are. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I had an amazing weekend at Sisterhood Rising for my birthday. And it wasn't for my birthday, but I happened to be there for my birthday, just to make that clear. Although it felt like it was all created for me sometimes. The reason for my title, what is water healing? To be honest with you, I don't know. I just know that I experienced one, and I want to share that with you. So it's actually was in a swimming pool, literally getting into the water and experiencing this healing I have never experienced before. It only went for 15 minutes, but it felt like an hour. It was incredible. But I want to share with you the lead up to the actual healing first, because the whole day, which was actually my birthday, was mind-blowing. So to begin with, I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine who had a stall at Sisterhood Rising, and I noticed something that I said was around some self-judgment or judging myself. I went, oh, what's that all about? And she said the same thing. And then the beautiful Louise Size, I'm not sure if she's in this group or if Jane is. If you are, hi, thank you. She offered a card reading, a tarot reading for me. And all these major arcanas come up, and it was all basically saying that I'm in track with my purpose and that kind of stuff. And then there was the judgment card. So it reinforced yet again around this judgment. And she said to me, you got to stop listening to that chatter in your head. And it's the first thing I would tell a client, right? But you're probably the same. I'm assuming you tell people, you advise people the same. You should take your own advice. And then after that is when I had the water healing. It was a birthday gift to myself. And I went into the pool, and Erica, she's beautiful. She held me in her arms as I'm floating in the water. She said, just surrender. And I trust her, and I was able to do that quite easily. But just immediately being held by her and being in the water and surrendering, I had feelings of being like in the womb, right? With a mother holding you. And after that, I started getting really, really cold, and the water wasn't that cold and the temperature wasn't that hot, to the point where my teeth were chattering. And it actually took me to a memory when I was a child. You know how when you're a kid, or even if you have kids of your own, where even their lips are blue, they still stay in the water? It was like that. I had a memory like that. And then I had a memory of being a mermaid. And I've had a few people tell me I've got mermaid energy. In fact, I'm wearing my mala right now that my beautiful friend Elise made me. She made it with it's got shells and blue stones, and she said that she felt my mermaid energy, and that's why she made it. So I had this memory of being a mermaid. I'm looking at my notes because I actually journaled on it when I got home, and I want to make sure I get everything in order. Got home and went back to my room, basically. And there was a point where Erica placed her fingers in my back, and I started to really shudder then. And that wasn't from the cold. That felt like energy was being released, which is beautiful, because we don't want to always go into that backstory, and relive it, right? So I just thought, okay, whatever that is, it's letting go. It's great. Please go away. And after that, I started to laugh uncontrollably. I just started laughing. I didn't even know why. I didn't know what I was laughing at. I just started laughing, like tears rolling down my cheeks. And this whole experience, I've got my eyes closed because I'm surrendering. I've got my eyes closed. But at that point, because it went on for a while, what felt like a long time, it was hard to, but I opened my eyes, like hard to as in my eyes wanted to stay closed. And to look up to see what the hell does Erica actually think of me, which is weird. But and she wasn't looking at me, but I could see this big grin on her face. And I went, I don't even know what I'm laughing at. And I just kept laughing even more. Closed my eyes, went back into it. And eventually I calmed down from the laughter, and again felt like I was back in the womb. But now I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing like the embryonic fluid around me, and just feeling, because she's moving you around in the water, you just letting go and letting her do her thing, which makes you experience we experienced. But like, I felt like I was literally back in the womb, seeing embryonic fluid around me, floating around in the womb. And at that point, I felt, because I'm away with the fairies, so to speak. I felt my feet touch the edge of the pool, and at that point, she starts lifting me up into a standing position, and it felt like a rebirth. It literally felt like being born again. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. But back to what I was saying. So I had this lead up of the conversation where I recognized self-judgment. The card reading where judgment showed itself. After this water healing, all I felt was joy and playfulness, like being a child again. It was beautiful. And that night at Sisterhood Rising, we had a zodiac ball, for want of a better term. And we all dressed up. So fancy dress. Here I am as a kid, fancy dress. And I realized that that was what was missing. The reason I'm listening to the chatter in my head was because I'd lost the fun and the joy of life for a while. So that was cool. And then I went back to my room and journaled. And after I journaled, I pulled a tarot card, and it was the Knight of Swords, which is basically saying, you've got this, go for it. But that water healing, 15 minutes, felt like an hour. It felt like, for what I just explained then was minutes, seconds. But each of those stages that I explained felt like a really long time. And I don't know where Erica learned this from. I don't know anyone else who does it. In fact, we talked about that because she was saying, because I actually reached out to her in the middle of the year to experience it with her, and she said, oh, it's a bit cold, you know. And she was telling me today that people have asked her to do it, what if you do it in the ocean? But the ocean, you can get seaweed or, you know, turbulent waters and that kind of stuff. And where she lives, she's now working on getting a swimming pool to do it from home. So I don't really know where opportunities are to do the water healing currently, except for at Sisterhood Rising. But it was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And then, as we're going to the Zodiac Ball, one of the women at the house that I was staying at said to me, what time did you have the water healing? And I thought, that's a weird question. Who asked that? But as I thought about it, so this is on my birthday, right? I realized that I had the water healing at the time that I was born. So on my birthday, at the time that I was born, I had a healing rebirth. I didn't consciously know that when I picked the time. It's just mind-blowing. Everything is just in alignment. When you surrender, which is the bigger message here, when you surrender, you open yourself up to all kinds of things that you weren't even thinking of, didn't consider. And surrender is not giving up. Surrender is just going, all right, what do you got? Show me. Anyway, I've had a big weekend. Thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.